Hello and welcome to another Captain's Table podcast. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub, your professor on the Astro Historian, and your moderator here at the Captain's Table podcast. This is one of the longest and oldest Star Citizen podcasts. We've been around since 2016, so this is our 10th year, or beyond 10th year, because I started at the very end of January in 2016. It's almost as old as this channel itself. Speaking of olds, we have Nazarus here. Fastcart can't be old because he's eternal.
Look at what I just typed in chat, but I won't say it out loud.
I forgot. I forgot something because it's a special day. So I got to get the right attire.
Oh, yeah. You're frozen, by the way.
Going so well.
And my camera is also frozen. Literally.
Yep, your camera is frozen.
Perfect timing, camera. Thank you. I'm gonna have this problem off and on pretty much for forever. I've been having issues with my camera thing. It's the reason why we weren't able to stream last week.
You set up a thing with OBS that like analyzes the pixels of your camera, and if
gotta have the smoking jacket on, ready to go.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Do I still have that? I probably still do have that. Hold on. Let's see if I also have the other accessory.
The pipe.
Yes. It's all right. No pipe. We're going no smoking. Nope, I do have
You got a smoking jacket.
There we go. All right. Welcome to a special Valentine's episode of the Captain's Table. My name is Paul. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Star Citizen's funding, because it is Coromore. I'll let Fastcart describe what this is, because this is something that Fastcart bothers me about every February. And on like January 3rd or February 1st, I messaged him and I'm like, when do you want to come on?
No. Usually it's March 1st.
Yes. That's why this year I was like, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to remember it now, because every year Fastcart bothers me about this. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably right. But I'll let him introduce himself in a moment. But first of all, Nazarus, who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? Where can they find you?
I'm Nazarus. I don't do anything in Star Citizen because it hates me. I just follow the project and hope things will turn out better eventually, and I'll actually want to play the game. Basically, when base building comes along and everyone gets off. I've been actually doing a little bit here and there, and I cannot wait to see what the stuff how this year progresses. But I'm trying to get back into content creation, both making streams and YouTube videos. So. Possibly, hopefully.
Yeah, you did reach out and be like, I want to come on. I'm like, sure, you want to come on? You're going to come on with Nazarus, or with Nazarus. Nazarus going to come on with Nazarus. Nazarus going to come on with Fastcart. And so, for those of you who don't know, Naz also used to run the Pathfinder podcast, which I don't know.
I'm back doing that.
Okay, with Tree when he isn't shuffling 3 children.
Yes.
You also stream. You did a lot of Space Engineers before you did Star Citizen, right?
Yes, and I just need to stop procrastinating and do more of that, because Space Engineers 2 is out in very early access, but it is I'm just a graphics jerk. So just the lighting alone is enough for me to just switch over to the second one, because it's got global illumination and stuff in it, so it makes everything nice and pretty.
Awesome. All right. And then Mr. Fastcart, who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? Where can they find you?
Paul, I just want to say, earlier when you said you're going to go black for a moment, I got very excited. But I wasn't in chat, so I wasn't able to say anything. But I could not tell you how excited I was.
It is Black History Month, so
it is Black History Month. So I just want to say, welcome to the post Super Bowl halftime show. I'm not Bad Bunny, but I'm just as controversial. I'm Fastcart, aka FC, aka Fastcart FC. I'm a co-producer on Soul Citizens, and we air every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch and YouTube. And I got to click on this. You are free to join me on the couch. So, yeah, happy Valentine's Day. So, thank you very much.
Oh, don't be modest. You're also one of the few official Star Citizen ambassadors.
That's true.
Meaning you are the Neelix of Star Citizen. So
I'd rather be the new one from Academy. Sam, have you been watching stuff from Academy?
I haven't. I need to start watching it. But yeah,
there's a new emissary, so I want to be Sam now. So yeah, we'll see about that. Let me know when you start watching.
Oh, will.
But yeah, every year around, usually around March, I say, "Hey, Paul, you forgot. Have me on for Black History Month." As far as I know, Black History Month is an American thing, a U.S. thing. It's not worldwide, but I pretend that it is because Wakanda forever. Anyway,
well, you and I are both Americans, so it also helps. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So let me put this back up. This is the Heartseeker, so that's your Valentine's Day.
There we go.
Right, yeah.
All right.
But
so
you're still free to join me on the couch.
And when I reached out to Fastcard and asked him if he wanted to do anything, one of the things he suggested was discussing the funding tracker. And for those of you who don't know, Fastcard did a lot of work originally doing the old funding tracker, right? The one that was just an Excel spreadsheet, effectively.
It is. It's still there.
Yeah.
But I still have access to it, but we haven't updated. We haven't touched it in a while because what we used to do is like every sale, we would say this is the sale that took place at this point in time in the notes, so people would know what was going on. But now people just remember. I just look it up now.
Yeah, and it helps that we have this, and I'll show this for anybody who wants to see this to give the perspective on things. This is the CCU game funding tracker. So if you want to if you look up the Star Citizen funding tracker, this is an independent one run by the fan community. It has everything from the income view. You can view historic trends. You can see sale view.
So also throws in accounts.
Yeah, and if you want to go to the income view, you can also go down here and switch it from pledge, so like money, to citizen. So it shows off new players signed up as well. So it gives you a lot of data, which is really cool. And this is all pulled from CIG's own metrics. So this helps you give you an idea of what's going on. And as you can see, last year, CIG made over $155 million.
Billion with an M.
M, yes. $1 million. Which is significantly more than they have made in previous years. So
they didn't pay you anything.
Still no. Check's still in the mail, I guess. Just lost in the mail. But there is a discussion to be had. And I want to start off with what does CIG do right? And then we'll talk about CIG what they do wrong. And then we'll talk a little bit about Squadron 42, and we'll talk about like the future of funding and what CIG should be doing in the future, based off our own experiences or from what we can see. So I'll start with you, Fastcart. In your opinion, what does CIG do right when it comes to their monetization, their funding model? Which I guess I should also preference to say, like, it's ships. For those of you who don't know. I mean, if this is your first time talking about Star Citizen, you're like, oh, what is this Star Citizen funding? It's ships. They sell ships, in-game ships. But yeah,
more than just ships now.
More, yeah. But I mean, that's the main source of income. So, but Fastcart, what do they do right in your opinion?
Well, first of all, they had a Kickstarter back in 2012.
Yes,
going way back. They had a Kickstarter, and they had a presentation with a video with Chris Roberts saying, hey, y'all might remember me from Wing Commander. Well, guess what? I'm making a new game. And people got hyped, and it broke all kind of funny records. It's still in the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know how often they update that thing, but every year, I guess they got it updated. But back in 2012, they announced it in GDC or something like that.
Yeah, GDC.
Gamescom?
And
that was GDC.
And it generated hype. and they broke all kinds of records. And then since then, they've been just doing breaking records year after year after year. So what they've been doing right had name recognition from Chris Roberts, but now, what is it, 14 years later, people may not be familiar with Wing Commander as they once were because you have a younger demographic and they may not have experienced Wing Commander or freelancer or privateer or all that stuff. So now, it's less than name recognition as maybe gameplay and free fire. Because currently they have a free fire, so maybe that's improving their numbers too. But basically, it's word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the community and also the marketing and the videos that they put out. That helps too.
Yeah, I would argue that Free Flight is a good funding boost because like one of the things you can do, especially with a game like Star Citizen, that has generously speaking a mixed reputation when it comes to the wider gaming population, and I mean that would have been a euphemism 4 years ago, but like these days, yeah, it generally does have a mixed reputation. There's some people who still remember it as the scam game, but most people have at least moved towards the middle or more positive from what I've seen over time. Um, but the free flights do allow for players to just try it out for free to see if what it's like, warts and all. And as we all know, free flights typically are the worst the game is in any kind of typical performance. So if a player gets on and goes, "Wow, this is pretty good," even though it's a little buggy, then even when the free flight's over, they typically have a better experience after that. But it does generally, like I've seen a lot of folks who say that they hopped on because of a free flight. They did maybe multiple free flights and eventually pulled the trigger because they're like, "Oh, I can see where the game is going." So
it's also not something that's anywhere else. Like it's a very specific kind of like sci-fi sandbox. Like there really isn't anything comparable to Star Citizen.
And also, it's important to note that they're not just making one game; they're making two. And if people are wondering why they're taking so long, it's because they had to build up the company. Like there was an InfoRunner interview with Sandy Roberts, and she basically said, even though they started in 2012, they really didn't really start until 2015 because those 3 years were spent building the company. So for certain metrics, it's only been like 11 years instead of uh, you know 14 years. But most people will discount that because that's when they started taking in money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the funding tracker really shows
so many more games too.
Yeah. Nice. What's the benefit? What are the positives of the current funding methods, in your opinion?
It works.
That's. I mean, they make money. That's for sure.
I mean, what more can you say, really?
Yeah. They stumbled upon something. I think Fastcart really made more sense of it. That like because they got started with the name recognition of Chris Roberts, and that got them in the door to the audience that they have. But because it worked, and you had that more innocent start of it, it wasn't just, hey, we're selling video game items at hundreds of dollars. It was because Chris Roberts said we're building a new sci-fi game, and that has just been the normal. And so even though you only have to buy the game for $45, very few people stay with the starter ship, and they end up getting larger and more money into the game. Every time another game tries that, they don't start in an innocent place. They say, "Hey, you're gonna buy the game for $500 because we said so." We've seen a bunch of games come and go where they tried to do the same kind of marketing, or at least buy-in that Star Citizen has, and they just do it wrong because they're doing it from a marketing thing, trying to get people to spend all this money, not building a vision, not having name recognition, not having any trust behind the name.
Also, the issue is you can tell the developers have a love for the game, a passion for the game. They want to get the game done. Those other people that you're talking about, they're more cash grab. And not to say that Star Citizen is cash grab, because people will argue that it is. They are trying to make money, but they actually want to see the project done and done well, as opposed to some of those other groups.
Yeah, and like you can really tell that like most of the money, like they tell you where the money goes. Like we can watch like Star Citizens or CIG's funding was it a lag year behind. Like we've seen updates, we've seen the weekly videos, like where the money is. We can tell how many employees they have. We can see in the weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, like all the updates where the money's being spent on the hundreds of devs they have, on the art that comes out, on the new missions and things. Like it's very present where the money is.
Yeah, I mean that is true. They're unlike games that do funding. Typically, they try to hide, especially the games that get a lot of like the scam reputations. They tend to like only one person talks for the media team for the team, and they usually are very not so upfront about their communications. Elite started as a Kickstarter as well. It started after Star Citizen and was really its own. It was already done comparative to Star Citizen, and it was more of a we could use this leverage, because that was how Star Citizen actually started. Was the goal was to raise a certain amount of money to prove to outside investors that they could make the money. There was interest to pull in outside investor money, and Elite did that specifically for Elite Dangerous, or I should say Frontier did that for Elite Dangerous. Like I'm a lifetime beta backer for Elite, which was like they offered that like for $100 you could get it. So that's but generally speaking, like Elite is one of the great examples of it working, because they also did the same thing where they only talked for they only had like one or two people talk for them, and sometimes the development team will go dark for like 6 months and not say a thing, and then come out with like a little bit of a small update for about a month and then go dark again. And a lot of companies that are sort of the fly-by-night scam and run, or like maybe over-enthusiastic but over their head devs are the same way, where like they'll have like one or two people talking for them, and they come out of hiding every couple of months to talk a little bit. But Star Citizen's different. Like they literally can't shut up about the game. The developers will go onto the forums and talk about the game. They'll go on videos and talk about the game. They'll go into live streams and talk about the game.
And they literally can't stop them from talking.
No,
like, they've tried.
That's like I said, the passion for the game. You can see it in their interviews and everything like that. So they really have a passion, as opposed to other game when you see this one talking ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped there.
how many things have we gotten in the game because somebody just wouldn't stop working on the game? The
Procedural Planet,
the PTV tracks, the VR,
the VR,
the whole cityscape, the technology that evolved into how they built
Rivers?
ArcCorp.
Rivers?
Yeah, not just ArcCorp. Not just ArcCorp.
Well, the system was being worked on for Terra.
People of the Planet. People of the Planet was the same way. They had the idea to do the People of the Planet generate all of the like the ground, because originally, for those of you who don't know, Star Citizen was going to be like a cutscene. You would go to a planet, you'd go to a place, you would get a cutscene, you'd land on a planet, and then you'd go to like the landing zones, and then you'd leave. And so you would never be able to land on the planet procedurally. And the People of the Planet changed that, and that was not a side project. They were doing it, but they were kind of like, hey, we're going to do this. And they kind of I forget who it was.
Ruined the entire game for the next 5 years.
They did, but the head of the Frankfurt devs was just like, hey, we're gonna move you in this corner. You do this, and they did it in like a week, because they had built something similar for Crytek as a demo when they worked for Crytek, and it made it to GDC. I actually found some of the original footage of their technology, which was to procedurally generate a city using the technology on the fly. And that the two people who built that demo got screwed over by Crytek, and they moved to CIG, and they built that. They took that same concept and then applied it to planet scale, and that's where we got the first Planet Tech technology, was from that.
Thanks, Crytek.
And certain people said,
Brian Chambers,
certain people said that it would take them 10 years to do it. It took them 90 days.
Yeah.
The engine devs from Frankfurt are constantly just wizards. Like it seemed like every 6 months there was something they were like bringing into like a new echelon of like all of the technology.
I was going to argue about the 6 month thing, but yeah, your point is still valid.
So again, all of this I think does factor into funding because a lot of this stuff allowed for the trust for the funding to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
And I do think that's where funding is continuing to go, is because of the trust that CIG built with the community over time. They've been able to continue to be able to sell because, like, quite honestly, and this is where we're going to go into more of the negative stuff. No other game can get away with selling $1,000 spaceships.
Well,
and be financially successful long term. No,
okay,
like
okay,
like most. I was
going to mention a certain game,
Star Atlas. Yeah, but Star Atlas is. I don't even know if that's much of a game right now. And on top of that, it's not nearly as successful as Star Citizen. Like it's
not as successful. There's no actual game. There is a hangar module which has racing and FPS in it, and there is an online mining game.
And they have other game aspects now. I think Griffin showed it to me like a couple of weeks ago. They do have certain game aspects, but whether or not how popular it is and stuff like that, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems it had was with all the crypto crashes because it's a crypto game.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of funding for it. So.
Mm-hmm.
But they still sell those $5 million ships.
Yeah,
they're still trying.
They're still trying.
And the fun thing about Star Atlas is it is because they're using crypto. Not that I like crypto
it's not crypto, but it's the NFTs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's both because they're using crypto to buy NFTs. Whatever. You have to have crypto to buy in. You cannot buy in with cash. But it is a completely player-run resale market. So you can put a ship up that you bought, for $5 million or whatever as $1, and someone could buy that. So it's interesting how the resale market works within the system that they've built. Whether that actually turns into a game, we'll find out in the future.
My point being, just generally for Star Citizen, is that very few game companies, if any, can get away with macro transactions. Most companies will try to do microtransactions, $1 here, $5 there, $10 here. But Star Citizen is unique in that it can get away with these larger transactions, and that has a lot to do with the trust. It's the trust, the community that's built the game, that helped build the game. I always like to point this out, that the reason why the Legatus package exists is because players asked for it.
Right.
The thing that is one of the biggest marketing issues.
Came out of nowhere. The players asked for it. The players wanted it.
Yeah.
That's what people are missing.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, if you told me 20 years ago, people would be paying $2,000 for a virtual spaceship, how many of us would say you're out of your mind?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not even macro transactions or mega transactions. They can be. But the point being that a lot of this stuff came about because the players wanted it to. Like CIG started off by selling a handful of ships. They were expensive, but I don't even think they really did the Idris and the larger ships until later. I don't think they started off. They started off with the Connie,
Constellation,
the 300, the Hornet, and the Aurora. And the Freelancer, and the Cutlass. I think those were like the 6 ships they did.
Cutlass, yeah.
I can't remember if they did the bigger capital ships early on. I know they did it.
As far as I know, the Constellation was the biggest one.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, but maybe I'm mistaken. I have to look at the original Kickstarter page.
They slowly started to increase the. I
think the first really big ship was the Starfarer.
Starfarer, yeah. That was to be released rather than sold.
Yeah. No, you know what happened? They had the funding tracker, the funding goal tracker. That's where they had the cruiser and the battle cruiser, and that's where they got those ships.
Yeah, those were stretch goals after they kept making more money.
Right.
So I mean, that's the things. I think, ironically, the stuff that has the worst reputation for Star Citizen were backer ideas. Which goes to show you, don't listen to your audience sometimes, game developers. They're stupid, and they will get you in trouble every time.
Case in point, me.
But that being said, let's talk a little bit about the negatives. I'll start with you, Naz. What are some of the negatives of the current model, in your opinion, in your experience?
It's working.
Yeah.
Because like they're very comfortable in this very what a lot of people see as predatory marketing system that they've built.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it was built because backers wanted it. And if they were to say, "Hey, we're shutting off ship sales tomorrow," the community would riot.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people, and I like almost everyone I know, has some sort of chain going to buy more ships right now. They're waiting for certain ships to come on sale or certain ships to like get available, get done, or whatever. And they would be upset. They wouldn't be able to spend the money to get the ship they want. And that's it. A wild kind of system that people are just trying to spend hundreds of dollars on ships. And then like on the flip side of that, people are also always complaining the second any armor or smaller things go on sale as well. So they've locked themselves into this very sketchy sort of funding where traditional funding has no bearing on Star Citizen. No one even realizes when they buy the game because it's a starter package and they bought a ship. Everyone says they bought a ship. And if you read the legal notice, you're not buying a ship. You're never buying a ship.
Yeah.
You get a ship for whatever you fund, however much you fund the game for. But because of how it's designed, how the website looks, everyone thinks they're buying a ship, which is
they are
all sorts of in-game repercussions for.
They are. They can't get rid of it. It's still a product that they're purchasing, but it's the way it's designed is more around that it's like you're backing the game. That's what they call us backers for a certain amount of money, and as a thank you for your backing at a certain level, you get these rewards. So you're not really buying the ship specifically. You're backing for and getting this as a reward as a result for it, but that's effectively buying the ship. But you know, it's the roundabout to get the same way. So
yeah. And also like shortcut things to buy Javelin, get delete buttons for PvP stuff, and like there's always the question, the very poorly formulated question of pay to win, but in Star Citizen,
you stole my answer. I was going to say that.
But in the game you can't really pay to win anything, because if you're buying like a big ship and there's only one you can't barely use the capabilities of the ship. And if you're buying like, let's say, the Idris, if you're soloing the Idris, you can't really protect the Idris. But if you're buying like the Mole, you can't really use the capability of the Mole by yourself. So pay to win really is a broken question for the game.
It's a complicated question because it depends on what kind of game you want to do.
Yeah. How do you win?
Yeah.
How do you win? What's your win condition?
What's the win conditions? But that's the problem with the sandbox game is that everyone's win condition is different. But for some,
if your win condition is own big ship, then yes, you can pay to win.
And there's a lot of misconceptions about it. But I think that actually those misconceptions make it worse. That the funding method makes that worse because people. Yes. Without the context, you just say you can buy a $2,000 spaceship. They go, okay, cool. So anyone who buys $2,000 is going to beat me in everything because that's how other games work. So this game is pay to win. And it's the funniest part is that I've said that to people and they go, okay, so that's pay to win. I say, but you can earn all those ships in game, and then they immediately go, cool, it's not pay to win. Like. The average gamer brain is very simple, and I don't quite understand the full because everyone's definition of pay to win is different.
It'll be nice when ship crafting comes in and it's instantly you can buy the ship, that $2,000 ship on the site, but just by the fact of you getting the resources and building it in game will probably be better than their ship that they paid $2,000 for.
Yeah. Oh, well, on top of that, it'll only be tier 1, and there's a tier up to tier 3 for crafting. So buying a ship isn't necessary.
Have the weapon quality, the item quality, the sub item quality, and the entire logistics you had to build up to make the $2,000 spaceship.
Yeah. It's not complicated. Star Citizen is not pay to win, in my opinion. It's
for educated people, we know that. For uneducated people, looking at the thing from afar.
Yeah, and it's the problem is that everyone's, because it's a sandbox, everyone's win condition is different. For some people, getting an Idris is a win. So it's like, I have an Idris, I've won the game, kind of thing. So it's like,
some people are shallow.
Yeah. And then
people, they want a big old carrier.
Yeah.
The Pegasus that we will still get someday.
All right, Fast Cart, your thoughts, negative aspects of the funding model for Star Citizen.
I was taking notes, so I keep track and not forget my points. But as soon as I typed in "pay to win," now 5 seconds later, now it says "pay to win." So, but fortunately, I have other negatives. So, there's the perception of it being a scam. I started in 2014, so around that time, early in development, the scam perception wasn't as great.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't think the scam perception really kicked in really hard until like 2016. In my opinion, that's my perception.
2015, 2016. Yeah.
Yeah. So the scam perception, when someone first hears that I'm playing Star Citizen, one of the first things anyone would be asked is that game a scam? And you got to go into the whole rigmarole of explaining and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But CIG doesn't really help themselves in this trying to persuade people that it's not a scam when they do stuff like land claims.
Yeah.
Land claim, this was when the Pioneer came out. What is that, 2015? No, 2017 when they first did that. And then, lo and behold, other games started doing it, and it's fine. But when Star Citizen do it, it's a scam.
Well, it's because when Star Citizen did it, it was sort of at the beginning of that idea.
The first one, yeah.
Not the first one, but yeah, it was the. And then other games started to do the same thing where like they added buying actual in-game things with real cash, but
And the other thing is the website. Early on, they had you can buy a package game package for $45, but if you scroll down, you can see the Legatus package on the same page, and that freaks people out. So yeah, the CIG didn't really help themselves, and it took them a while to stop to fix that, because now you have to reach a certain level of money that you put into the project before you see those other packages. Like I think that you need to put in $10,000 now before you can see the package.
I think it's 1,000. You have to get concierge.
I am concierge. I'm not at $10,000. I do not see the Legatus package.
Oh, okay.
When I go to the site, it only goes up to 16,000 only. It goes up to 16,000 for me.
Okay. Interesting.
The other thing is, I cannot stress this enough. People like to say, "I'm investing in Star Citizen." No, we're not. We're supporting the game. We're not investors. Our return on investment is enjoyment, not money back that we can get we get somehow. So I want to stress that we're not investors. We're supporters and backers.
We're customers.
Customers, yeah. I think that's about it for me when it comes to negatives.
I'm gonna be a lot harsher than y'all. Because like one of my biggest problems currently is that CIG is trying to do macro transactions and microtransactions at the same time, and I don't think it works. The now monthly the monthly patch bundle, that is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I hate the monthly patch bundle because I have intentionally avoided it, because every time the monthly patch bundle comes out, and for those of you who don't know what the monthly patch bundle is, it used to be called the patch bundle. It's not like the monthly bundle or whatever.
Gameplay pack, something rather.
Yeah, it came out with every patch. Gear. It had gear and a skin. The problem is that rarely would the gear and the skin be something I want or something I owned. So like, I got one because the gear, I liked the gear coloration, and I was like, I'll use that gear. And I had a Starfare or a Starlancer, so I was like, oh yeah, I like that skin for the Starlancer, so this is perfect. I'll just get that. But like this month, I would definitely buy that armor. But I have no use for the vulture skin because I don't have a vulture.
Right.
And I feel like they're doing this to try to force the value to be higher than it is. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to make it more expensive by bundling these things together. So they know people want to get the skin for the ship or they want to get that armor. So they'll basically force it into a higher bundle. So you have to pay for the bundle in order to get the skin. And I feel like, A, that's a bad move, in my opinion. And B, they would make more money if they split it.
Yeah.
Because some people will buy the armor and not buy the stuff, but
I know the entire idea is to make money with the monthly pack, but like it would be an amazing idea and would remove any type of bad will for the pack if you make one, split them, two, make the armor on a single NPC with a chance of spawning somewhere in the game.
Yeah. It's really interesting. We picked a good. I picked a good topic at the good time because of what's going on with Ashes of Creation.
Oh boy.
Someone mentioned the reality is that Star Citizen funding model only works so long as more money comes in than their costs. Yeah, that's called a business.
That's how business works.
That's how businesses work. Money made by itself means nothing. It's income versus cost. How much each is irrelevant. So that's business. Your revenues need to out.
That's how books work.
Yeah. Ashes of Creation debacle really showed the reality of these cult following games. They tend to be House of Cards setups that can collapse in an instant.
So we've seen controversy hit Star Citizen
multiple times. Last year. It's
weathered them.
Yeah. And CIG has had dips in funding in the past, like differences between
4-0.
Between 2022 and or 2023 and 2024. They
went down like a million.
Yeah. And
but before that,
it was like 2022 they were in the red.
2016 and 2017.
Yeah.
They went down by
2 million. And then in their financial reportings for 2022, they were actually 2 million in debt in that time period. Mm-hmm. So like CIG has gone in the red before, and they do have outside investors, which we can bring up here a little bit because those investors are ticking time bombs, which are could be a problem down the line. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully they get out 2022 this year.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was just about to say we have to eventually talk about Squadron and the very nebulous position it's currently in. That's like so far coming out this year, but no one said a word of it in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's February and not a peep.
Yeah,
that's terrifying to me. Like, I don't know. It's just every day that goes past, I'm like, do you guys need to release it this year? I don't care what state it's gonna be in. You need to release it this year.
I care what state it's in. It's got to be a good state because otherwise we were not here to end of it.
Well, it's a question of what's going to be worse for them. Missing another
release.
2016.
Missing the date would be worse. Missing the date would be far worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like whatever state it's in, they have to release it.
Let's talk a little bit about Squadron because I think.
Well, but
go ahead.
I do have a few more points when it comes to negative. The marketing and commercials. I remember when they first started saying playable now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
It felt like it was 2018. And we're like, why are you doing that? Why are you putting that in the commercials? And yeah, I think that it's better now, but when it first started, it was like, this game is not in the position where you should be putting playable now in commercials.
My biggest problem with the playable now trailers was always they would either show it how it's going to be, like how the theoretical systems are going to work, or they would show the perfect example of something working when everybody who's played the game knows it doesn't work like that.
And you stole my other point because I was going to say, how many times have we seen a commercial where they show a player doing something they could not do yet in the game?
Yeah.
That was exactly going to be my next point. So thank you. So yeah, that was it for negative.
Yeah, I do think that their teams with the marketing can be a negative because they can often mess up and miss the sort of mood of the community or the theme of what needs to be done. I still remember the Nursa commercial, and everyone got super mad at the Nursa commercial.
Times.
Yeah,
Respawn was always the
plan. Yeah.
They finally started walking that back last year.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
How many systems does Fix need to update for Squadron? 0, because Star Citizen's actually lagging, not Squadron.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the negative, but people not perception change, but goals have changed. Like, remember how CID used to say they're going to launch a game with 100 systems, but now they have so many points of interest. It's comparable to launching with 1,000 systems instead of 100 systems because it has so many points of interest.
Yeah, that's why I brought up the whole like landing on planets changed everything.
Oh, okay.
Because like that is definitely a point. Like they still plan on doing 100 systems, but it'll be difficult for them to get to 100 systems before the game server shut down, simply because that's a lot of systems. And
I still believe that eventually we are going to get a push button system,
like just a push generate.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That they will eventually be able to create with all their procedural assisted systems a pretty close to take, the rocks from here, the plants from here, push button, get system that CIG doesn't know. That way the Endeavor has something to do.
I don't think so.
But like
I'll say that.
It would be hard to do that before the game's done.
Yeah.
It's run its course.
Let's talk about Squadron, because I think Squadron is a huge thing. For those of you who don't know, Squadron 42, this is actually the 10-year anniversary of the divorce.
You want to put the link in?
Yeah. Let me see if you gave it to me earlier, right?
It's in the Discord.
Let's see if we can find it.
The transmission above the Nazareth.
Oh yeah. I'll pull it up so people can see what it was. So it's actually a little bit later than this, but we see
10th anniversary.
10th anniversary is February 9th, so it was a little bit later. 2016, package split information.
That's what they announced, but it happened on
February 14th, 2016. So yeah, it is today.
Yeah.
So
that's when they announced it.
Yeah. So it was they split the packages between Star Citizen and Squad 42. So you had to buy them separately. If you bought before Valentine's Day 2016, you would have been able to get both of the games combined.
And like $45, which was a great deal. You're getting 2 AAA games, particularly AAA games, for the price of, less than the price of one.
Yeah. Did the split have anything to do with Crytek?
No.
Okay.
As far as we know, no. There's no mentions in it.
Because now that we have the new launcher, we know that I don't know if you guys followed the lawsuit that happened at all.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it came down to the last point being, if they were launched from the same launcher, everything Crytek said was null and void. And now that we have the new launcher, we know that Squadron is going to be another button on the side. It's everything they would have said, even though it's been thrown out without being able to retry it. They couldn't have done anything either way.
No, and I think that's a point to be made, because there's a lot of folks who are confused about Squadron. They because there was even in the chat, systems aren't even finished in Star Citizen, and Squadron's supposed to come out this year, and it's the systems are done for Squadron.
Yeah.
And a lot of those
flight system is there.
Yeah.
They're just waiting to convert actually, I think the report said they've started working on the conversion to Star Citizen. They've
been testing it, and they've had private testers testing it in their own configurations to make it work. So there's a lot of systems that existed in Squadron that are going to be ported over to Star Citizen, but they haven't been ported over because of the online nature of Star Citizen.
And there's a lot more work to do for a system to be a sandbox system rather than hey, we need to move this barrel from here to here and this little puzzle to work. You can ad hoc that, and that only works in that level for those 3 seconds you have to see it, and then it just destroys itself.
Yeah.
To make it work in Star Citizen, it has to be way more complicated.
And on top of that, Star Citizen and Squadron 42, while being fundamentally the same game, will not play the same because the systems, even after Squadron 42 is released, Star Citizen is going to get updates and evolve and changes. Gameplay is going to change. Balance updates are going to change. So weapons will not feel the same because I'm not saying Squadron won't get updates as well, but generally speaking, they're not going to go back when they're working on Squadron 42 Part 2 to update the squadron to the latest Star Citizen metrics for everything.
Yeah, a question I have is like if they change the flight model again, which they're going to, in Star Citizen, are they going to copy that over to Squadron 42? And technically they should, but maybe at some point it'll be more trouble than it was.
Yogi said no. The plan is no.
Yogi said no?
Yeah. They're going to make changes for Squadron or for Star Citizen, but it won't affect Squadron. So,
okay. I was about to say that I don't think like the Gladius and the weapon balance and the flight tuning and how fast the ship turns or anything like the performance of the ship and the weapons are going to be the same because Squadron is a specific kind of experience. Star Citizen is a general experience to fit everyone's playability.
Yeah. And I do think the Squadron is an important question to have, especially with funding, because it represents a independent funding outside of selling ships that is so important for the game going forward. So I'll ask you, Fast Cart, this question. Do you think Squadron 42 will sell well, given what we know right now? Especially, as we talked about, the split between Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. Many players who backed before 2016 already have copies of Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, and many people bought copies of Squadron 42 up to the point where it was removed from the store. So there's plenty of people who have...
Right?
Yeah, 2023. So there's plenty of people who have copies of Squadron 42 already. Do you think, in the year of our Lord 2026, if CIG releases Squadron 42, they'll sell any copies?
So you changed the question in the middle. First you asked, do I think it'll sell well? And I wanted to ask you, what is the definition of selling well?
Well, that's a good question. Do you think it will sell enough to make an impact on the funding? Do you think it'll sell to CIG's expectations?
But I don't know how long that'll take because I'm assuming Squadron 42 will be on sale for, let's say, 10 years, a decade, over 10 years. So over time, it'll probably make enough money to have an impact. Now the question is how fast or how quickly do I think they'll reach that point? I don't know because it depends on word of mouth. It depends on how good the game is. If the game is good and word of mouth is good, people will flock to it. But if it's like, if it's mediocre, God forbid, like bad, or for some reason, and people say, we were right. We were right all along, so don't bother. So I think eventually they will, but how fast they do it, I have no clue. That makes sense.
Yeah. Naz, your thoughts on how do you think Squadron 42 is going to do financially?
At this point, I don't think it can do poorly, even if it's like even if the game is bad. I think the day one sales will be enough to be not a bad day one or a bad life for it. The question is, does it stick around to continue its is it good enough to last as long as it should be, to be a triumph rather than, hey, they finally finished the thing, now they can focus on Citizen. And I don't know if we've talked about it yet, but we still the Squadron that's supposedly coming out this year is episode 1 of 3, I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be 3 parts.
Yeah. And supposedly, last we heard, the plan was to do the next one in 2 years.
Yes,
but that may have changed with 1.0 coming on stage. So it might be Squadron 42 episode 1, 1.0, then Squadron 42 episode 2. But I don't think it can do bad just because of the amount of people that are waiting around for it to be done, and the fact that it will be a complete, polished game. As even it will have bugs. Obviously, you can't make a game without bugs. But like just it being finished, I think will get it good enough to be bought in enough quantity to make it worth it. The question is, like Fastcar said, over its life, will it have made back what it needed to be a financial success?
Okay. Yeah. No. I always have seen Star Citizen or Squad 42 as a marathon game, not a sprint game. And I do think that you will see people who will say, the game that cost $1 billion is a financial failure. That will be the title of every single article. I played the $1 billion game, the $1 billion game. $1 billion. 16 years later or whatever, finally released, that kind of thing.
This game sure released 10 years ago.
Yeah. And even if it's a positive,
that all game companies are doing, or the journalists are doing now, this game, so it's gonna be Star Citizen X Starfield or something. It's
yeah. Yeah. No, and it's like it's gonna happen. Even if the reviews are positive, that's the nature of the game. You have to entice people, and it's already pre-written. That title is already pre-written in every single review.
Yeah, I agree. One of my predictions for Star Citizen, I made a prediction December or January, I forget which. I said this will be the year of negativity when it comes to media articles.
Oh yeah.
I mean, CIG can't win.
No,
it won't be able to win. Even if it's a smash hit, there will be those articles, poo-pooing on it. So,
yeah, and it's not going to be for everyone's game, but I do think it's going to be a marathon game in the sense that as it goes out, if it has a good reputation amongst word of mouth or with fans or with reviewers, then it'll grow over time. And I think that's really what CIG needs, because unlike other AAA developers that need to make back all of their money within like the first couple of weeks of a game release in order to pay off their publishers, they don't really have anyone except for their investors who likely will not be removing will optioning their pullout deals until like 2027, as far as we know. Last we heard. So you've got investors who are already still in it for the long haul, have had a chance to pull out, never have, who are probably going to make like several like $20 million or something like that. It's an insane amount of money that they're going to get out of from their put, or maybe 200 million. I can't remember exactly, but it's like an insane high amount of money that they're going to get back from their smaller investments. I hope someone clips Paul saying that so we can link it to said articles. I mean, I don't blame
I've been
people.
saying it too.
Yeah, I don't think me or Fastcar blame anyone for using that title, because it is an eye-catching title and it is going to get people to click.
Clickbait.
Yeah. It's just the nature of how the attention economy works. You got to do that.
And the worse it sounds, the better it is.
Yeah.
And what gets me is that this $1 billion game, the title itself is misleading because it's two games. So,
it's two games and developed over the course of,
But we know that's going to be the title.
Yeah. 15 years, like $1 billion in 15 years is nothing compared to like some games. So
it would be hilarious if people actually saw CIG as what it actually is set up to be, and that's an R&D. It's a scientific game company.
Yeah.
They are an R&D company that are just pouring billions of dollars or millions of dollars into R&D.
Yeah.
And then they hope to have a game at the other end. Like, just taking the Genesis system alone, that's the whole Genesis system, and that going through R&D, like, has already moved other game companies into better games.
But I will say, the thing that CIG could do well is if they release Squadron 42 on Steam. Not just Steam, but like Steam and Epic and the Microsoft store and
anything
Sony.
But EA, not EA.
any third-party store that exists. And while you won't have as much revenue when you do that sort of thing, it reaches a wider audience.
Oh man, I could only imagine Squadron 42 showing up in the Xbox store. That would be amazing. That would be perfect. I don't know why, but that's just thematically correct to me.
Yeah, I mean,
and also the consoles.
Yeah, eventually it will go to consoles, but we don't know if it'll release day one on consoles. There's been none of that sort of thing.
Just don't give it to a third party to port it over. That never goes well for anyone who actually has a good game.
I don't know. They might. That seems like the best option. They've got a really good relationship with third party developers though. Like there's like one that they haven't done well, but
do they now? Because Firesprite was bought out from under them.
But they hired all the people. They hired people from Firesprite. They bought Turbulent, which was their another third one.
Right. Bought Turbulent, yeah.
What was the original FPS company they had?
IllFonic, yeah.
IllFonic, yeah.
That was
absolutely screwed up all of their assets.
That one was probably the worst example, but all the other ones they did pretty well on it.
No, what was it? The other one, the Moon Collider. I think they were doing
Moon Collider. Not Monster Cat, but the ones they were making the peripherals with.
Cytec.
Cytec, Faceware.
Listen, those products went great. It's just those companies went under before they could get them done. But I
just the elf that lives longer than all the other ones around it.
It's hard to express how lucky CIG seems to be. They seem to always luck out at the best possible time, and that should be studied in a lab. Like when they needed more people who knew how to work on the CryEngine, Crytek just happened to start screwing over all its developers and preventing to pay them. When they needed like. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like they made deals.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
I got one for you. They got more money when Elite Dangerous poo-pooed on their player base, and people started coming over from Elite Dangerous over to Star Citizen.
Yeah, at a time period when CIG was pretty low in funding and interest, a lot of people started to move over that, and a lot of people who were Elite-only gamers were like, "Oh, Star Citizen's actually pretty good too." So it started to actually bridge that divide. You know, I think the same thing happened with Starfield.
Shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Starfield was the reprieve that we all got to go play because Star Citizen was taking so long.
Yeah, but a lot of people became more appreciative of what Star Citizen was doing after watching Starfield.
Yeah. Except pulling ships.
So, like, I do think, going back to Squadron, I do think that Squadron is going to be the passive moneymaker that they have from now going forward. But I do not think it's going to be a smash hit. That being said, this community is insane.
Yeah, I mean, you just said that, and I hear someone saying, "Hold my beer." Right after you said
someone, probably multiple people, will buy like 100 copies of Star Citizen on Steam just to give it to people. You know, because
I
didn't realize I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how large the community was until I saw the I think it was the China Bar Citizen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's more of us.
And to give you context, more citizens have signed up between 2020 and 2024 than signed up between 2012 and 2020.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we have doubled the amount. It was like 2 or 3 million at 2020, and then they've added that many in the last 6 years.
I mean, to your point, it took like 4 years for them to reach the million account. Million citizen. That's what I should say. The million citizen. And then after that, it became the progress between millions became progressively shorter.
Mm-hmm. And it's just been going up. And the thing is, as we said, Squadron hasn't been sold since 2023. And I had this experience where so many people would come into my chat. We'd be talking about Squadron, and I'd say, I guarantee you there is one person in this chat who just no idea what we're talking about when we talk about Squadron 42. And at least 2 or 3 people would be like, yeah, I just didn't know I didn't want to interlude what is Squadron 42. And I'm like, it's Star Citizen. It's the single player of Star Citizen that's being developed alongside. Because most people who follow Star Citizen generally do not follow all of the development. They just follow like ISC, SCL. Many of them don't know that Squadron 42 existed, and many may not have even known about it until that trailer came out in 2024. Right. You know,
I still laugh when people see that trailer from 2024 and say, "Oh, this is a Star Citizen color."
Yeah,
not knowing.
Yeah. It's Star Citizen.
I literally said that.
Yeah, I definitely hope that when they do release Squadron, it does have the hey, here's the game. Hey, here is, a little bit extra stuff, and here's the idiots who have backed the project for like the last 20 years, whatever. And it's just a wild amount of money for no good reason, like Hytale or something did.
Yeah.
Like, this is just way too much money to spend, but you're going to anyway because we're done with the project, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like, they have the soundtrack to release, which definitely should be one.
I'm buying 5 copies of that soundtrack. I'm buying one for every digital device. I'm buying a physical copy. I'm going to get the vinyl if that comes out. I'm going to get that.
I
have a vinyl. I don't get it.
I would just be happy. I'm not an original backer because I'm back in 2014, so I missed a couple of years. But I had the physical package and I have the silver box I'm supposed to get. I'll be happy when I get to hold that Constellation USB in my hand. Say, finally.
What's the documentary that also has been being filmed?
Yeah, they've been doing some of that stuff too.
Like, there's a lot
I want
of
that thing. I want that thing to be 18 hours. I do not want like an hour or a half hour.
How about 42 hours?
That works too. But I want like I want them to show like development with each year will be a chapter or however you want it. So I want that to be long. Yeah.
What are they going to release it? Is it on vinyl? No, they there's no indication they will, but I will buy it if it goes on vinyl. And game soundtracks have gone on vinyl before. FTL has,
I wonder if he's asking what are they releasing on vinyl. We're talking about the Squadron soundtrack.
Squadron 42 soundtrack, yeah.
Yeah.
If they sold the Squadron 42 Art of Squadron 42 book, I'd buy it because it's like I have that stuff for like Titanfall and Halo because it's like stuff that games I enjoyed and I love to see the inside stuff. So.
I had Mass Effect.
I cannot wait to have the theme for the 42nd Fleet on just repeat for the next week after
it's the UEE it's the UEE Navy hymn. It has words.
Oh, okay, so it's the whole Navy. Okay,
it has lyrics that we've heard a little bit of. So
Alpha just asked, will Squadron 42 be on a disc copy? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
That costs money.
I would imagine you would need. Well, you could do Blu-ray, but how many DVDs would that be?
Yeah.
But if they can get away with it, they won't because it's waste of money.
Yeah.
How many floppy disks?
So like, as much as I'm trying to be like conservative about the amount of money they'd make with Squadron, I also have to remember that this community is insane and will buy stuff because they get the chance to buy stuff. And like, I can almost guarantee you, people will buy it on Steam and still have the copy that they got from Star Citizen just so they have a Steam copy.
Yep.
Why? Because why not? It just makes it easier, So I cannot discount the generosity / insanity of this community when it comes to Squadron. So I don't think it will make 1 million copies in the first week or in the first month.
Yeah.
But then again,
first month maybe. First month. The first week, no. First month, possible. It's possible the first month.
To give context, Helldivers was released 2 years ago. And as of the 2-year anniversary, they announced they sold 20 million copies.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's huge. That makes it one of the top selling games of all time. That gives you
2 years. So divide that by 24 months. They made almost a million per month. Average.
Yeah, because it's $40 per. Plus, they also make money from microtransactions on top of that too. Let me check it real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, to your point, maybe I'm inside the bubble, so I see Squadron 42 making a good deal amount of money in the first week, but I don't know if they make a million, sell a million copies in that first week. We'll have to see.
I definitely think they'll cross a million in the first week.
To give you in terms of sales, the top 50.
Holy crap!
Holy crap!
What?
Look at this hat.
Oh, Scape. Thank you, Scape.
25.
Holy shit. Scape's just trying to prove a point. He's just trying to prove a point.
Absolutely. People are going to do that.
Yeah. But
somebody's gonna go to a parade after Squadron releases. They're not gonna be throwing beads or pens. It's gonna be
Squadron keys. Yeah.
You get a copy. You get a copy. Everybody gets a copy.
To put this in context, the 50th most selling game of all time, according to Wikipedia, is Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, which sold a collective 25.5 million copies. So Helldivers is close to the top 50 after 2 years. And while it is a huge phenomenon and a lot of people played it, it's still not a huge. It's like a completely different type of game.
It's niche.
It's niche. Yeah. The closest thing on this list to that, in terms of like a little bit lower on the list, is something like Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, which sold originally 30 million copies. I do not believe they've only sold 30 million copies of Skyrim. That sounds stupid. There's no way they've only sold 30 million.
These days it's really hard to measure that stuff because you have games like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact, which make a lot of money, but they don't sell individual copies of their game. They sell it. They get money through microtransactions and stuff like that. So stuff like Genshin Impact would be, 50 million, 100 million. I don't know how much money they make, but yeah, it's really ridiculous how much they make compared to the other games you have to buy a copy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that like I do not anticipate Squadron selling 1 million copies. I think that's crazy in my mind. In the first month. In the first month, okay, even in the first year, I don't see it selling 1 million copies. I could see it selling like 100,000 the first year, or maybe the first month, like within its first release.
I think if it doesn't hit 1 million in the first week, then it's only because how many copies they sold with the original Star Citizen backing people.
That's fair.
And I think that's part of it. But I also think that it just needs good marketing and word of mouth marketing, and that just won't happen over time, especially with the bugaboo in the room, the elephant in the room of the GTA. Like, people only have so much money for video games, and so if it's a choice between
but Star Citizen people are special. Like I said, Star Citizen people are insane.
We are, and that's one of those things that I can't discount that. You
can't discount that.
We may end up pushing Squadron 42 to the top selling of all time, just because no new person ever purchases the game. It's just every backer buys 7 copies. So
I can't tell you how many times I've been wrong when I came to predicting the financials for CIG. Like, I want to say 2023. I was asked, will they make more money next year? And I said no. I was wrong.
Yeah.
When I said marketing is a lot of money, the amount of free marketing they have that is going to just unleash onto the internet when they actually have an announcement and release it, because all the stars in the game, there's a bunch of them that are like dying to play it. All the hate, not ads, but journalists that are going to put stories about it. Every single backer that cares about Squadron 42 is going to talk about it, and talk about it to at least 5 different people. Like, there'll be people who, like, big streamers that pick it up just because it's the $1 billion project. Like, the amount of flooding of the internet that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It will be absolutely insane. Like, the marketing has already been primed and ready to go the second it releases.
I just hope, and I doubt that will happen, but I just hope that they don't sell the base copy of Squadron 42 for $80. I hope it's something more reasonable, like 60 or 70.
See, that you Griffin brought this up too, but I want to talk about this. Is that I think a smart move from CIG is to pre-order the game for $42.
Oh, nice.
It sells itself, right? When you do it, you say a pre-order. You can pre-order the basic package for $42 until it releases, and maybe for the first week after it's done. And then you can also get the deluxe edition for, $84. And then the Supreme Deluxe edition for like $120. And they have like the soundtrack and all those other things like that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
And takes notes. Listen, you tell marketing that
Right.
if they do not do the $42 promo deal, they are wasting time because so many people would buy it for the meme. I'm just saying.
Multiple copies. Copies.
For the meme. They will do it for the meme. You know, $42.99 or $42 even. It doesn't matter.
Or $41.99.
As long as it's as long as there's a 42 in there, you know.
Yeah.
And if they do it that way, where they have like a base pack, which is like $40 to $60, and then an $80 pack, and then a $100 pack, like with just a special editions or whatever, which just give them a little extras. I think they'll do well. I think if they went below $60, they would sell more, ironically, than if they sold it at $60, because people have a different
way to burn every shred of credibility that the company has ever stacked up ever in their entire life. Make $1,000 pack that gets you the blueprint for the Bengal.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh God.
Not $1,000. It's a $1 million pack. It's $1 million.
It's funny.
No, it gives you the blueprint. You have to go do the stuff.
Yeah, but undercutting it, you need $1 million.
I had to collect the edition for $200, where you get a statue of Van Duel.
Yeah, there we go. A life statue of a Van Duel.
A 9-foot tall Van Duel.
Yes.
I don't know about that. Where would you put it?
Not
for $200.
Why would you?
For $1,000.
But I do think that there is a secret to pricing, and CIG, and this is one of those good things that I'll say, is that every single new sale they've done, and every single new sale they've done a new ship that's on sale, so a new game package that's on sale that has a skin, armor, weapons, and tools. So it's like this $45 pack is now only $38, like $38.99, and it comes with the ship, the skin, an armor pack, colored armor pack, and a weapon. Like, that is a deal. That is a good plan. That shows that you understand that you can discount it, and now you're getting people to go, ooh, I like the free flight, and it's discounted. And it's got all these other little packages.
The BMM. Holy crap!
So,
and you know something that I just occurred to me now is that if and when they do go on Steam, they will have Steam sales and Steam discounts. So, yeah.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of advantages if they went beyond that, and I think that allows for passive income, because the thing about Steam is that what you can just do is say you get a Steam copy, it just launches the launcher. It's just to install the launcher, and then you install it through the launcher of Steam. That's how a lot of games do it.
Like even Age of Empires does that.
Yeah, all of the Total War games do that too. So, yeah. All right. So we talked a little bit about Squadron 42. We talked about the positives and negatives of development of it. What do we want to see in the future for Star Citizen funding? Naz, your thoughts. What would you like to see CIG do, change, or add for funding in, say, a 1.0 environment?
Stop with the paints.
Okay.
So, like, I don't have a problem with them selling paints. I have a problem with them selling paints and not letting us make our own paints.
Mm-hmm.
Because, especially with the current event, where you can only get the paint for the medevac and not the Hermes that just came out. I don't like any of the Hermes paints, and I have no way of changing the color for the Hermes, and it's ridiculously disappointing. Like, we're supposed to be able to paint our ships. This is one of the longest promises that has been around. And everyone assumes it's because they're selling paint, they won't let us paint our own ship in game. And I'm not going to get into the dozens of suggestions that everyone has had to how to do both, but like there are options. Just give us the option. Stop being afraid. I think they can sell anything that is in game, out of game. And I think closer to 1.0, I want them to make more stuff more expensive. Just so there's more, like, if you're going to buy it, then you should be paying for the energy you're saving, not playing the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Make it more expensive to nudge people to, hey, don't buy it, just go play the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
All right, I'm with you on that. I'd add the whole, like, one of the biggest problems I have is that CIG seems to be stuck in their ways and refuses to let us modify paints. They seem to be like, oh yeah, no, we don't want to be able to you to be able to like take different colors and modify existing skins with different colors because it might look ugly. And I'm like, yes, that's the point. People want to customize their ships, and what you think is ugly, they think is beautiful. Like, and even then,
have you seen some of those best in shows skins that they've done in the past?
Yeah. You know, you could easily also do, make it so that the developer gets to restrict what paints get to put on there, and you can see what paints get put on there, so you know what looks good and what doesn't, so you can restrict the number of paints that are on there. At least giving people the ability to change their own paints would be nice. So,
yep.
Fastcart, what do you want to see changed in the future? Say like a 1.0. What do you think the funding model should look like, or what should you?
We already know that the Battlecruiser is going to be the last concept sale. Mm-hmm. So that's going away, or had gone away, because in 2025 there were no concept sales at all, basically. Yep. So that's taken care of, because I believe, I want to say way back in 2015, like in the 10 for the Chairman, one of those shows, Chris Roberts said that they want to do away with concept sales. So evidently they fulfilled that promise, but they're still going to be releasing new ships. And they're still going to have sales for those ships, so I don't think that's going away. But the last concept sale, looking forward to seeing that. I would like them to. We already know that they have subscribers that fund the production for the video and stuff like that. I wish that they would clarify what subscriber does, because when people see subscriber, they get a whole idea. But in order to go to the page and then read it, and I wish there was a simpler way for people to say, this isn't for playing a game. This is for paying for the video production for CIG.
And it also goes for events, right?
Say it again?
It also goes for events?
Not as much, but yeah, a bit. But yeah, cause that's why they have to charge so much money for CitizenCon tickets. So it does, but not as much. Mostly it's for video production. So I wish they would clarify that. But what I really want to see is for, as soon as 1.0 comes out and the commercial goes in the face black, I want them to say, playable now. No, really.
That would work.
It should come out.
That would work even if people didn't know.
It should be playable now. Soon TM and it fades into a whiteboard, says soon TM, and Jared comes out and wipes it off.
I think that would work even if people didn't get the joke, because people would be like, oh yeah, no, it's actually playable. I think the one reality that I think everyone needs to get to wrap their brain around, CIG's never going to stop selling ships.
Yes.
It's
too good.
It makes too much money.
Stop buying them.
No, and people, it's as long as people buy them, they'll do it. I do think they'll pare them down so that you don't get the mega packages anymore. I think 1.0 will be the end of the package, like the giant packages.
I don't, because like Eve does the same thing.
They'll do the packages, but on sales. They only do it for like Invictus and for
that makes sense.
And makes sense. So like they'll get rid of them for the average person, and I think most of the ships you can purchase will go away, and they'll just be replaced with game packages. So you can't buy an individual ship. When you buy an individual ship, you're buying a game package. So
that makes sense.
That way they can inflate the cost even more, because you're technically buying another copy of the game.
Aren't they also planning on getting rid of buybacks?
I think at some point, yeah.
I think at some point, yes, you're right.
And
I think 1.0 is going to be like the killing of the gray market.
That's going to be an event, because previous event, like you said, the divorce between Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, I can't tell you how many people bought a last minute package just because that was happening. So
yeah,
as soon or when they got rid of the $0 CCUs, remember those?
Yeah, people used them. Yeah,
and people because they had like a million in a database, and they wanted to make it easier on a database. So yeah, as soon I hope they give us a month or maybe 2 months advance notice before that happened.
Yeah. But I do think that one of the things that I'd like to see them do is to, I'm jumping on the paints thing, is to allow people to purchase paint packs and then use those paint packs to do paint by numbers. I also think that they should allow for you can get certain decals.
Yes.
Like they have a series of decals designed by their team, and then maybe players can like propose designs, and then CIG will pay them for designs and add them to the game, so that you can have decals. And either there's a specific place you can put the decal, or you can put a decal multiple times, but you can't like put like 7 decals. So you try to get away from people just making penises out of everything. Because so many people want like, pinup art, or they want to have like their org logo on their ships and that kind of stuff.
Which they has confirmed
they want to do
2 years ago.
2 years ago, they want to do that.
Org logos will be coming.
Yeah. And then you add that into it, because one of the big things right now is you cannot buy paints in game. You just can't. There's a couple places you can
remove them.
They have old paints that you can purchase, but like we're talking like 2018, 2019, and even then it was like a handful for like the Arrow, the Avenger, the Aurora. Like, I don't even know if there's a Retaliator paint. Like, we're talking like the very basic ships, and they're like black, orange, yellow, green kind of things. But they're not nearly as many as there should be, because there's a lot more that are around.
I know this is somewhat off topic, but it's kind of on topic for the paint thing. I wonder what is holding up the whole making more shops thing. Like many years ago now, they simplified the setup for in-game shops, so now it's not like having to work a week to make a new shop or edit anything in the shop. They can just kind of like spend a couple minutes and they edit the entire inventory of a shop. Why is it taken? Why do we not have the stuff that we have in the game in shops? Why are there no new shops? Why we had Cousin Crows and then nothing happened?
I think a lot of it is, one of the last things I heard about paints was that a developer specifically said something to the effect of they're thinking about paints going away as a physical item and becoming blueprints. So you're
that, and probably building interiors for shopping district things.
So like having a paint or having a skin is less about having a physical skin. It's more about building the skin with your blueprint, so that you always have that blueprint, so you can always make it again if you need to, or it's like a one-time thing you use it, so it's easier to carry than a physical item. And
it's become the void pocket that you can always pull.
Yeah, exactly. And that allows it for more unique, so you can, if it's a physical, so if it's one that you have forever instead of a burnable one, then you can like apply it forever. You can give it to other people if you wanted to, and that kind of thing.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
But
like crafting has another thing. Crafting, like, I don't think it's the magnitude of fully realized planets, but also kind of like shifted greatly the direction of Star Citizen.
Oh yeah, no, and I think crafting is one of those things where if 1.0 financially is going to be done well, CIG needs to make sure that what they're selling is things that are useful for players, but is not a game-breaking advantage for players, so that everyone goes to the store to purchase this because they just make sense to buy it, kind of thing. It should be things like cosmetics. It should be things like, ships, but the ships are the Cutlass. You're not buying tier 3 super mega ultima matched out with all tier 3 like equipment and stuff like that.
Oh, you asked me before one thing I hope to see. I want to see the Titan suit go on sale.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
It's the Aiseki. It's in the game now.
Give me
what
that.
do you mean?
Not the Zeus. Not the Zeus. The Zeus is in.
It's the little.
The Ikti
with the pew pews on it.
The Ikti.
No.
That's what it is.
I want that concept that they gave us.
Oh yeah.
2017.
So what you
it's
do
in
is
Squadron.
You get the Ikki, and you just get in it with the lightning shotgun thing.
You don't understand.
No. So it's in Squadron. I know it's in Squadron. And I made a bold prediction at the beginning of this year that it's this year. It's coming out this year. And I still believe it's coming out this year, especially if Squadron's coming out, because they've already released the F7A Mark II, which is in Squadron. They've already released the F8, which is in Squadron. The easy pick for Invictus is for like a slow two. It's the Titan suit is called the Zeus suit.
So we're gonna have the Zeus ship, the Zeus RSI armor, and the Zeus Titan suit.
I mean, how many Atlases we got so far? So
yeah, we've got the ATLS, the Atlas chassis, the Atlas quantum drive, the
Star Atlas.
Star Atlas, yeah.
It's not like CIG don't reuse their names.
Yeah.
What's the one that's the Pyro tool, the Pyro and Pyro tool that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. Technically, it's made by
Pyro. How do I have Pyro in my inventory?
It's even worse because the Zeus suit is built by Virgil Ltd.
Of course it is.
Because then we all Virgil the system, which is what it was named after in the first place. So it'll be the Virgil Zeus.
That's intimidating.
Yeah. Not to mention, Legionaries, Liberators, because you've got the Aurora Legionnaire.
Can you imagine how intimidating it would be if it were called the Tyrone suit? Because then people would be like, no, Tyrone's coming. Don't let that happen.
I was disappointed when the Aurora rework happened and it didn't have the spreadable wings like the fan art.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. But I agree.
They've already said no, but you release the X-wing, you have to give that to the Aurora.
Come on,
looks so good.
It looks good. It looks so good. But yeah, I do think the Zeus suit. I also think when they release the Zeus suit, we're gonna see more than one, because it's sort of like this separate version of vehicle. Because you already have the ATLS and the ICTY and the Geo. You could have a salvage version. You could have other industrial versions, like you could have one that has 2 tractor beams, or a bigger tractor beam, or a smaller tractor beam, or a tractor beam and a gun, or a tractor beam and a salvage beam, or whatever. There's so many different options you could do, and they could do like broken down versions, like the Grays Market.
Could do a Shiv version of it.
Yeah, Grays Market version.
That you only have 0.5 seconds to move a container. So you end up just chucking boxes around.
Well, see, my thought about it it would be perfect for pirates. You have one of those that's just like a pirate, like a Grays Market one that's just like, oh yeah, I have a Zeus suit. I have this thing that's like cobbled together out of different parts, and it's got a big, flamethrower
Gray
or
Market
something.
Version.
Yeah, the Grays Market version. Yeah.
Ooh,
I would love to see when those suits come out. They would change Starmarine to have like Titan suit combat. I think that'd be cool in a winning commander.
Didn't they say forest fires were going to be a thing?
I don't remember. This is the team that ostensibly may have also worked on Far Cry 2. So, and we all know Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 is infamous for its spreading flames mechanic. So,
I don't think they want to give players flamethrowers if they can burn an entire planet. But then again,
Paul's not the same reaction.
Yeah. I mean, would it not be cool to see entire planets up in flames and having to put out the flames?
And how are you going to stop players from doing what players do?
Yeah. All right.
I'm scared.
Thank you all for joining us for this conversation on.
Oh wait, Paul.
Yes.
Are you saying this? There's a news update just now. CIG just announced taking over production of Ashes of Creation. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Can you imagine?
Oh god.
No.
Then they changed the name to what was the name of that thing that everyone said Tony Z was working on? Soul
Hunter?
Soul Singer.
Yeah,
Soul Singer. They just change it to Soul Singer and then give it to Tony Z.
That's fair.
God.
People listening, not seeing my face, I am trolling.
Paul was just on a roadside mission last night, so burning a whole Robbie's side. Oh, we're talking about. Oh, yeah, I was doing Helldivers, and so yeah, flamethrowers are a common thing in Helldivers. It's always fun.
Yeah.
But
to hate your allies, absolutely.
I love it. It's so fun. Any game that lets you dome your ally by accident is a fun game to
That's
play.
why I love the laser dog, the little drone guy. I love him so much.
He's just super excited. He just wants to kill everything. All right,
everything, including you.
Yeah, including yourself. Yes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check out Fastcart at Soul Citizens on Sundays, right?
Yep.
And make sure check out Nazarus on YouTube and Twitch. It's Nazarus YT on Twitch and just Nazarus on YouTube, right?
Yep, and everything else.
And check it out. Check out the Pathfinders podcast with him and Tree0311. And if you enjoyed this, hit the follow button. Subscribe for more content. We do this live on twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/@thecaptainstable on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. We'd love to have you come join us live because we're going to move into the question and answer session. For those of you who are watching this live, we'll take a few minutes break to go use the restroom and collect some more questions. For those of you listening to this on the podcast, you should hear this first. It'll be just stitched together, both parts, so you won't have any break. There will be no break between it. And if you're watching this after the fact, the second part will be released later down the line, like either Wednesday or Friday of this week. This should come out on Monday. So, but for now, like I always say, thank you for watching, and hope to see you someday in the black.
It's Black History Month, Paul.
Oh, God.